Welcome to Monetize Your Passion, the podcast for moms looking to make money from their passions while making a positive impact in the lives of others. I'm Tara Lawn, content strategist and certified life coach. I want to help you leverage the power of content creation, organic marketing, and goal setting so you can turn your God-led passion and purpose into profit. My prayer is that you'll find inspiration from God, encouragement, and practical ways to monetize your passion. Hello and welcome to the show. So I have a guest on today, Mercedes Eckert. She's the president and CEO of iShop, which is the fastest growing mystery shopping company in the world. She's helped over 17,000 people create flexible income through mystery shopping. So in today's episode, we talk about how she uses short format content like TikTok Reels or Instagram videos to bring people to her longer format platform, primarily through her webinars. And once she gets them to her webinar, she has a very simple offer. It's almost an offer they can't refuse, and she converts them. She monetizes in that way. So I love her strategy. It's very unique. Again, it's very simple. So you definitely don't want to miss this episode. Let's get into it. So why don't you share a little bit about your mompreneur journey? Like, I'm sure you tried several things before you landed on mystery shopping.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I did so many things, like especially the MLM route, and you know how that goes. So, I this fell into my lap. Mystery shopping kind of fell into my lap. I think I was selling Mary Kay or something at the time. Just dabbling in a few little things that just weren't really bringing in the money that I needed, and were causing me to, or requiring a lot more work from me than I was getting out of it monetarily. And then I ended up meeting a young lady who worked for a mystery shopping company, and she got my foot in the door. And I've never looked back since, because it's just changed so much. But I had a really big epiphany moment about 2 weeks after I'd gotten married. My husband injured himself and was off work for 6 weeks. And I'm, being newly married, I was 23. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? This is like not good. And so I remember I had just started mystery shopping, and I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna have to do a lot of mystery shops and try to like make up some of this income that we're losing. And I remember that first weekend he was off, I went and I did 4 mystery shops and earned over $400 from 4 shops. It took me less than 4 hours to do, drive time included. And I remember getting back home and just thinking, oh my goodness, this is going to change everything.
Wow. Now, what were you doing prior to that? Did you have like a standard 9-to-5 job and you were looking to do something on your own? Like, how did this all come to be?
Yeah, I had a day job that I was working, and I was doing that. I was going to school, so I was still in college. My husband, he actually had 2 children. He had 2 girls when we met. He was a full-time, well, he was a full-time single parent. He didn't have any help. So when we dated, we kind of had this instant family. I kind of just took on the responsibility. So, I mean, when we got married, I had an instant family. You know what I mean? And they were young girls. They were 3 and 6 when we started dating. So you've got one's not even in school, one's in kindergarten. And so at that point in my life, as many people and moms especially will be able to relate to, I had a lot going on, right? Kids, marriage, college. I volunteered at church, and then I was dabbling in these extra side hustles, right? Just trying to help bring in household income and balance, the kids and getting them where they needed to be and homework done and things like that. And so that was kind of a look into my life. It was very just like never a moment to sit down when I became a mystery shopper. So that really changed everything, because it allowed me to let go of some of those things that weren't working, right? Some of the side hustles that I was doing that weren't working, and replace that income, bring in, help replace, my husband's income for the 6 weeks that he was off. So it was a really big game changer for us.
Wow. So you were really young when you started mystery shopping in your early 20s, and you've been doing it ever since?
Yes. Yes. I don't even know where the time has gone. I'm like, pinch me. I can't believe it. It's been over 12 years. Yeah.
Wow. So why don't you explain to us what is mystery shopping? Because I have an idea of what it is, but what really is it?
Yeah. So, what it really is, it's a form of market research, and businesses, both big and small, Fortune 500 companies, mom and pop shops, they're using mystery shopping to help them, find areas of improvement in their businesses. So, as a mystery shopper, we are paid to go into these businesses and pretend that we are a regular guest, but we're actually there to evaluate, you know, are the restrooms clean? Is the cashier friendly? Do they greet you? Is there a name tag on their person? Like, we are interacting with employees and using our eyeballs and our ears, right, to take in this whole experience. And in return for our feedback, we're paid.
How many years were you doing this before you decided to start helping other women do this?
You know what? I think it was about 2 years in is where people start contacting me and saying, how do I do this? What is this you're doing? This sounds interesting. And one thing led to another. It was very organic how it happened. And I always look back and I'm like, this is just so crazy because nobody grows up and says, oh, I want to be a mystery shopper when I grow up, or, or I want to help other people be mystery shoppers. It really just organically happened. So after about 2.5 years of being a mystery shopper, I founded my company, iShop, which is a mystery shopping organization. And so, yes, we recruit and we train mystery shoppers across North America.
Okay. So yeah, I want to get into the heart of your business. So you're trying to find more mystery shoppers. I'm assuming, there's a sales component where you're, looking for people to join your team. Like, what is your strategy just for a mom who's listening, wondering, just how to market and the best
Yeah.
platforms for their business? Like, how did you start this whole
Yeah.
process?
Oh my gosh, it has been a journey. And let me tell you, so initially it was all on Facebook. And, back in, I mean, we're talking, I don't even know, 2014, 15. Um, Facebook was still fairly new. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it started with just friends and those that were on because back then you had your friends and that was it. Everybody on your Facebook page you knew, right?
Yeah.
And so it started there. And then I started utilizing strategies like posting outside of the Facebook outside of my Facebook page to groups. Okay. Back when groups were really, really, I mean, they're real popular now, but like these public groups, because they
Hmm.
had it was the new thing in Facebook. So everybody was talking in these groups and you could get a big audience back then. And so that's where I started. And then there have been, several different marketing strategies, that I've used. But I've settled into a very strong funnel. We use webinars to generate our leads, right? And to turn them into customers. So webinars are our bread and butter. To get people to the webinars, we have several strategies. We use social media in terms of ads and organic by doing short form video. But it's all sending them to our free webinar, and that's where the magic happens. The conversion takes place, the sale takes place.
Hmm. So, what are all the platforms that you're on? Is it still a personal Facebook page, or do you have a business page as well?
Oh yeah, we have a business Facebook page. So the company is on all, like, I guess I shouldn't say all because there are some I haven't heard of, but like the major social media platforms.
Hmm.
Um and then personally I am as well. So I still am a big part of the brand. I'm, heavily associated with people see my face and, so I do advertise or, advertising for my social media as well, just organically making a post, making a video or something like that. But we do have the company pages that are, managed by a social media manager.
Yeah. And you're being modest because you've reached thousands of people, right? Through your business.
Yes, we have trained over 17,000 people across North America how to do this. It's wild to think. I
Wow.
would have never ever thought. I would have never thought this way. I mean, honestly, I just like, guys, I'm from Indiana. This is nowhere special. I was just a broke college student, you know what I mean? Like trying to
Uh-huh.
start my life. And it's just so crazy looking back at how things have lined up.
Yeah. Well, I'm just curious, just getting to the back to the mystery shopping. What are
Yeah.
some success stories like from some of the people that you've trained?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, gosh, it's what keeps me going. So I remember we had an event and one lady came up to me. She was one of the shoppers and it was her first time meeting me. And she said, "You don't understand." And I said, What's going on?" And she said, "This has saved my marriage." And I'm
What?
like, "What? What do you mean?" And she's not the first person that said that. Since then. So we all know like money is can be a big issue in marriages. And just being able to bring in that income has helped so many couples. So that's a positive story. We've had people pay for weddings. We've had people pay for their children's tuition, be able to cover that. We've had people be able to quit their full time jobs and do this full time. Matter of fact, for 2024, we had a shopper who earned $74,000 in 2024 from mystery shopping. So many success stories in people's lives really impacted, and it's really really cool.
Wow, that's so awesome. Like, what is the average amount that someone can make, like per week or per month, mystery shopping?
Yeah, so on average, those that do this as a side hustle, like they have their full-time jobs and then they do this on the side, 2 to 500 a week is what we're seeing our numbers show over the last decade. And then for the full-time shoppers, 1,000 plus a week. So
That is
good
great.
money to be earned. Yeah,
Yeah, because you go at your own pace, it's your own schedule.
exactly. Yes.
And I'm assuming you pick and choose what jobs you want to do.
Yeah, so from what's available, you're able to pick and choose, what you want to do. But I did have one girl one time, and she thought that you could just like go into a store and say you're mystery shopping it. But I did have to explain to her it is from what's available, right? Because the businesses, they have a whole program and they're paying you, so you have to go with what's available. But as far as what is available, you're talking about gas stations, grocery stores, movie theaters, theme parks, airports, hotels, casinos, churches, fitness centers, salons, you name it. Every business is using this.
So, just going back to the business part of it. So, I always like to tell my audience, the power of long format platforms to,
Hmm.
draw people to your business, like a blog, podcast, YouTube, webinars. And I love short format content, like social media, but I feel like there's so much power in the long format. So, how do
It
you
is a
draw people
powerhouse.
to the webinars though? Because you have to market to get them to your webinars. Like, what is your strategy?
We advertise with Facebook ads, Google ads, and then we do a lot of organic with short form video like on TikTok and Reels, and that all pushes them to the webinar.
Oh, now have you done an analysis of what the conversion looks like from TikTok or like the Instagram Reels, what that looks like, to your webinar?
You know what? It's organically that's hard for us to pinpoint. We have like affiliates and things, and they post videos. And so that's a little bit harder to pinpoint. But as far as like Facebook ads and we're on Instagram. So Instagram and Facebook, I should just say Meta.
Yeah,
So
right.
Meta, yeah, our Meta ads, with our ad spend, we typically, we see almost 100 leads a day. The convert, like the click through rate, of what is it, impressions, people who see it and then actually click through is like 4%. So, um, it's actually doing pretty darn good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm imagining, someone stumbles upon your ad and they're looking to make extra money. It seems like a
Mhm.
fun way to make money.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it catches people's attention. So it really just has been the right combination of marketing and getting people to the webinar. But once they get to that webinar, I mean, the conversion rate is pretty good for a cold audience. And
Yeah.
so we don't do like, we don't have a launch strategy. I know some businesses, they launch every so often. We are taking customers every single day. So we're seeing really good results, from the webinar for sure.
So how do you create engaging content that's tailored to the mystery shopping niche? Because I'm sure
Yeah.
you have to be very creative to like come up with little ideas like for videos and short form content to draw people's attention.
Yeah, you'd actually be surprised. I started on TikTok in 21 with I'd made maybe like two videos back in 2020, but I just never really thought about it. And then in 2021, it was the summer, I did end up creating a video, like you said, being creative and thinking outside of the box. And
Hmm.
I shot a video in a grocery store, and it had a little suspense. I added a trending sound, and it got a lot of attention, and so we, from that one video, got thousands of people into our webinar, which then
What?
it yes, it was a whole thing. And so thousands of people registered for that webinar, and we hit like our highest month ever. And I thought I was going to faint because I thought cannot be real life. But because we had that long form, that webinar in place that was already converting very well, when we got the eyeballs on it, it did what it was supposed to do, and it made a lot of new customers. That was for sure.
What is that process like, the webinars? Do you offer a free webinar and then you offer your service at the end? Like, what does that look like?
So let's see, for the majority of the time that we've offered a webinar, which is, I think we started doing webinars it's been so long. I think we started doing webinars in like 2019, somewhere along there. Um, so when I first did the webinars, they were live and they were 60 minutes. Okay. Then when we went viral on TikTok, we changed the live webinars to evergreen. Okay. Because I realized at that point it's just not efficient for me to have people wait to get into this webinar. They might not show. It's just, you got to take that out. So we
Mhm.
automated it. And so the webinar now runs multiple times every single day. So whenever people are going to the page, they can just sign up for the best time that works for them. I also last year reshot the webinar after it being the same webinar that ran for 2.5 years. Um, I shot a new one. I said, well, let me update it. And I shaved down the time from 60 minutes to 35.
Mm.
So now the webinar, the new webinar that we have going, it's still getting good results. And I was a little nervous and apprehensive about shaving it down because I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to get as much information to them. But I'm telling you, people, that the short attention span that we have going on in this social media age, sometimes, it really does help. And as long as you are giving them the information that they need to make a decision, you know, so that conversion is still really good even after shaving it down. But like I said, the webinar is our bread and butter.
So what does your content strategy look like? Like, do you post once a week on social media? Like, what does that look like? Because it sounds like you're very successful in your marketing using content strategies.
Yeah. So I tend to post maybe once a day, sometimes every other day. I'm a little bit more laxed with it these days than when I was before. But as long as it's consistent, so it's consistent. It's not like I'm posting once and then coming back 3 months later. So consistency really is key. So I do post, probably every other day um, on social media with, my the content strategy for the videos that I do, like the short term TikToks, those are more very simple. I take a video of, it could be inside of a gas station or inside of a movie theater or whatever it is. And I get that B roll, I put some caption on it and some music, and that's about it. So not all of my videos even have my face in them. Some of them do, but a lot of them you're just seeing B roll, some music, and a catchy caption. So that's kind of what we do when it comes to what the content looks like. But behind the content schedule, we're not posting every single day. I know that for a long time, a lot of people said you got to post every day. But once you get the consistency going and you get that, the algorithm is putting you to new people. I would say you don't have to post 3 to 5 times. I think at one point they were telling people to post 7 times a day. It's like
Yeah, it was
nobody has
just
time.
overkill.
Nobody has time. Yeah, it was like nobody has time for that. And so I started um pulling back and seeing, okay, you're telling me I have to post 7 times a day. That's a little excessive. So now I'm posting, like I said, sometimes it's every other day, maybe 3 times a week, and I'm still seeing the same results. So that's personal experience, of course, but I do believe consistency is key.
Hmm. And are you posting niche specific content, or is it more like your life and your family, or is it specific to mystery shopping?
So that varies by platform. On TikTok, it's more niche specific. It's more about the mystery shopping. On my Facebook, it is more personal life, getting to know me. And then when I do sprinkle in mystery shopping on the Facebook, people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. So if they're following me on Facebook and they're getting to know me as a person, then when I do pop in there and say, "Hey, there's a webinar," they're more apt to do that. They're more interested. They like me. They want to see what this is all about and what I do, behind the scenes. And so yes, it all depends on the platform for me.
Yeah. What about Instagram? What's your strategy?
So with Instagram, it's the same as Facebook. As far as it's some personal stuff and it's some business, because they're linked. So anytime I make a post on Facebook, it goes over to Instagram. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
So when you do draw people to your webinar, what is the offer that you're giving them at the end? Let's say they go through the 35-minute webinar, and then how do
Mhm.
you sell them at the end?
Yeah. So at the end of the webinar, I talk about our live beginners class for anyone wanting to learn how to mystery shop. So the webinar is more of, let me show you what it is, a little bit of kind of an overall, like, how it works, give you examples of people that have done it, like testimonials and things. And then the class that I offer at the end is, okay, I'm going to show you step one, step two. This is what this looks like. Here's where to click. Here's how to. All of that is in the class. So by the end of the webinar, they're motivated. They're like, this sounds like something I want to do or I want to try. And then I sell them the live class. And so they're able to purchase that class right through the webinar. And yeah, it's pretty simple. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't do anything special.
Wait, so you sell them a live class at the end, or is it like a course? that's like a hybrid class? Is it an actual live class where you're teaching
It's
them?
an It is. So, yes, I don't have a course and I don't have a course. So, it is not recorded. It's live and it's worked really well. I teach a live class twice a month. It's about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And by the end of it, you're ready to start picking up mystery shops. So I mean, I think the goal one day would be that I at this point I don't want to turn it into a course. I think the live class stands out a bit because people do want to be able to ask questions live. They want to talk back to you a little bit. So I think that has some value there, which is why I've kept it to the live class twice a month. But it converts well. The interesting part of my journey is that I didn't have a roadmap. When I started this, I there was no I didn't know about the online space. And the online space was really just starting to unfold, back in 2015. I mean, there wasn't a lot of this going on. And I certainly, for one, didn't know, oh, people are starting to do courses and webinars. I initially, the class was over the phone, believe it or not. I used a 1-800 free conference call and I would teach the class over the phone. And
Wow.
so, yeah, I mean, the evolution of everything that we've implemented in the business is just crazy over the last 10 years, but it's definitely evolved. And so, anyway, without having kind of a roadmap, the ideas were just in here. And having a live class is something I've always done. And even when I've seen, other people do courses and you go through it, you know, even just judging from the webinar that is recorded, although our conversion rates are good, it's always better live. Like people showing up live, they feel that energy on the screen. You know what I mean, while they're chatting and they're able to talk to you, it does something. And so we just haven't made that move to make it pre-recorded or a course, because I'm just a little nervous that I don't know if they would follow through, if as many people would follow through with it. So we're
Yeah.
gonna stick with it. We're gonna stick with the live class strategy for now.
No, I think it's a great strategy. On average, how many people do you get in these live classes?
We have usually, so I usually have them every 2 weeks and over 200.
Now, do you still
Yeah.
mystery shop too, or are you just handling the business aspect of this?
Well, I here's what I do now because I don't have a lot of time because I'm running the business. So
Yeah.
I'll do the shops that are like dinner shops. I don't feel like cooking tonight, so we're going to do a mystery shop at a restaurant or a movie theater, or putt putt. I more food and entertainment shops now, because I'm able to do that, and kind of just replace household income, like doing a mystery shop at a car dealership to get a free car oil changed, right?
Mhm.
So I do it a little bit, not as much as I used to.
Yeah. Now, I'm just curious, when you mystery shop, can you remain anonymous or does the owner know that you're there for a reason?
Yeah, you have to remain anonymous unless specifically told otherwise.
Oh,
But
okay.
you don't announce it. Nobody knows. You don't want to be found out, and the managers don't know either. So
Now, can you say how much you charge for the live class?
it's $147 for the live class.
I think that's a great deal. This is a very
Thank you.
lucrative business. I mean, for you, like teaching people how to do it. I mean, there's a lot of moms listening trying to figure out their thing. Do you know what I mean? So I think
Right.
this is
Yeah.
helpful, even figuring out like the content strategy, how to figure out their niche. A lot of people are just
Yeah.
all over the place. They want to do something, they're just not sure on how to do it.
Exactly. And I was just talking about this with someone else yesterday. Just having a passion inside of you, but not knowing exactly what to do with it. You have all these questions and you kind of just end up being paralyzed. What do I do? Or wait, I have this idea. I'm just going to tell you, just go for it. Just try it and put one foot in front of the other. And if there is a demand for it, people will show up. People will sign up, right? And live your life so people can see the fruits of whatever it is you're trying to put out there. They're going to see that fruit from you, and they're going to want what you have, because you're selling you're selling the end result of the thing, right? The thing you're selling is just a tool to get them the end result. Is so what I would say is, whatever that end result is, talk to that, right? Show that, and they'll come alongside, and they'll want to get involved.
I love that. Thank you so much, Mercedes, for being here. Now, where can
Oh, thank
people
you for
find
having me.
you if they want to know
Yeah,
more about mystery shopping, or just, get in contact and just see what your business is all about?
yeah, absolutely. So I am on all social media platforms like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all that. Mercedes Eckert everywhere is very easy to find me. Probably too easy, kind of scares me a little bit. But yes. So you can find me, and then you can find iShop. So you can find my company, iShop AGP. That is the handle on all the social media sites. Or you can just go straight to the website at www.ishopagp.com.
I hope this episode blessed you. If you're a mom listening, trying to figure out the best platform to show up on for your business, or maybe you're not sure about your niche or your ideal customer, or even how to create the right content to bring people to your business, then feel free to book a coaching call with me. I will have an application in the show notes. Let's see if we're a good fit for working together. Thank you so much for listening today. If you know of another mom who could use this episode, would you do me a favor and share this with her? As you know, my platform is meant to be a blessing to mothers, so any support from you would be so appreciated. Until next time.